Hey, what's up, gentlemen and ladies? Happy Waddle Day to Straya. So today, I'm gonna be making a video about this thing that I've actually wanted to make a video about for like the past month, because this is really old news at this point, but somehow nobody covered it still. I mean, probably because it was buried deep in an interview that had nothing to do with the person that was actually giving the interview in a non-English Final Fantasy website during a time of news where a bunch of other major announcements are coming out. But you know, it's still worth talking about, I guess. To being a month late, guys. Cheers. Alright, but today I'm actually going to be specifically talking about Nomura's, I guess, involvement with Final Fantasy X-3, which is something that we've been talking about for quite a while at this point, especially coming from Shinji Hashimoto, who hinted at a Final Fantasy X-3 like at the end of last year, and is actually the person that was giving the interview in question today. Now, just so we're 100% clear, guys, Final Fantasy X-3 is still not a confirmed game. There is still a chance that this game might just straight up not happen, contrary to what another Final Fantasy YouTube channel that I'm not gonna name out loud might have you believe. You know, there's a lot of clickbait going on in YouTube, and I'm just gonna say, guys, don't always necessarily believe what's in the title or what they discuss in a Final Fantasy related video. Always make sure that you check their sources and that you check that the websites that they are covering it from are reliable. Because according to this one Final Fantasy YouTube channel, Final Fantasy X-3 was already confirmed like last month. And while we're at it, Dissidia was confirmed for the PS4 like last year, and then it was confirmed again like during E3. And then Iris coming to the multiplayer of Final Fantasy 15 was confirmed at the beginning of this year, and then she was confirmed again like last week. And Noctis coming to Dissidia Final Fantasy was confirmed like last year, and it's gonna be confirmed again when he's actually confirmed. If you guys are not seeing what I'm getting at here, this channel basically lets to clickbait a lot when stuff has not actually happened yet. So once again, I just recommend you guys always check the sources. But the one in question today is actually a website called Final Fantasy Dream, or Final Fantasy Rêve as I like to call them, which is a very reliable Final Fantasy French website, and if any of you speak French, then you should go check it out. But in a quote-unquote recent interview with Shinji Hashimoto, they asked him a question having to do with a possible theoretic Final Fantasy X-3 that once again Hashimoto hinted at earlier this year, or at the end of last year, I guess it was, yeah. To which Shinji Hashimoto had to respond, come on, 3 years of high school French, don't fail me now. Monsieur Kitase et Nomura savent pertinemment que les fans attendent au pied levé c'est FF10 mais ils savent également que l'attente est grande pour FF7 Remake et le développement de ce dernier est déjà lancé. Le développeur travaillant d'archi-pied et se concentrant d'abord et avant tout sur la production du remake. God, I am so sorry to all of my French-speaking viewers, but you know what? At least I tried. Maybe one day I'll be able to speak French as good as I want to. But basically, for those of you that are not fluent in French like I clearly am, the translation goes something like this. Kitase and Nomura know that the fans are waiting for a hypothetical Final Fantasy X-3, but at the moment they also know that the expectations are great for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the development of that game has already launched. The developers are working hard and focusing first and foremost on producing the remake, and very interesting that they mentioned the remake and not at all Kingdom Hearts 3. It's just a little funny thing that I wanted to point out. I'm just saying, nothing to it, just, you know, thought I would mention it. But Hashimoto is basically talking about how, yes, they know that fans want this, they know that it is something that people have been asking for, not just recently, but pretty much since like Final Fantasy X-2 came out. Okay, maybe a little bit after that, but still. However, right now, Nomura specifically kind of has his hands full with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and also, presumably, Kingdom Hearts 3, which, as you guys remember, is set to come out in 2018. I'm sorry, I can't even say it with a straight face. Kingdom Hearts 3, which is set to come out in 2018. I'm sorry, you guys know what I'm trying to say here. Sorry. The thing that is really interesting to me about this specifically is the fact that he says that the reason why they're not doing it is because of Nomura. Now, I think I'm probably gonna make a full video about this in a couple of days. And sorry that I haven't been as consistent, guys, but I actually just started college, so the fact that I'm even able to upload videos at all is just a miracle. But this is something that they had actually said similarly about a fourth Parasite Eve / third birthday game. They were like, oh, it might happen, you know, when Nomura is done with all the projects that he's currently working on. What? Why Nomura? Nomura did not direct the first 2 Parasite Eve games. Nomura did not direct the first 2 Final Fantasy X games. Why is he the go-to guy? You have more than one developer capable of directing Square Enix. I hope you realize that. I know that Nomura is like the Miyamoto equivalent of Square Enix, but still, give the poor man a break. So if I had to guess how it's gonna go down, oh god, I just thought about something. I always forget just for a split second that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is gonna be split up into multiple games. Not episodic. I have to mention that every single time that I say that, because then people in the comments are like, oh, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is gonna be episodic. It's not, okay? It's not. But each one of those is probably individually gonna take, at the bare minimum, 1 year, if not longer. And honestly, I'm expecting longer. So let's say that hypothetically, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in Okay, let's say that that one game comes out in that 1 year, then somehow magically the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 comes out in 2019, then magically Part 2 comes out in 2020, then magically Part 3 comes out in 2021, then by some miracle, even though they only got 1 game out every single year, they managed to cram the entirety of Final Fantasy VII into those 3 games, and we get Final Fantasy X-3 in 2022, then by some miracle, Nomura manages to get his shit together and release Parasite Eve 4 in 2023, then the earliest that we could possibly get Kingdom Hearts 4 or anything else related to that game or anything from Nomura would be 2024. And that is absolute best case scenario. Good job, guys. You happy? Is this what you wanted? It baffles me that Nomura has to be the one to do all these things. Again, I know that he's like their go-to guy, but there's other people there. There was a time when Nomura was nothing but a monster designer, and look at him now. You should be trying to do the same thing, Square, with other people that are in Nomura's spot when he was back then. You know, maybe they're just artists or they're just programmers, but they have potential. You don't know. I guess I should probably save this for the video that I make talking about the whole situation, but I guess let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Final Fantasy X-2 situation, quote unquote. I just realized that like I pretty much didn't talk about the actual game of Final Fantasy X-2 this entire video. I guess I don't really need to. I've already made a video about it. That was like, what, 3 years ago at this point, but I did it. If you guys want to go check out 2014 Cringe Dean, then I'll leave it in the description, along with the link to the interview that I was talking about during this video. Again, guys, make sure that you always check the sources, because you never know when people are just trying to clickbait ya. Either way, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to blitz that like button, subscribe as always. Stay tuned for all things Final Fantasy. See you guys.